Okay, so welcome. This is a presentation about the Community Food Action Grant Program offered by the Department of Health. Food for All NB is pleased to be hosting this presentation so that any New Brunswickers who want to apply to the program can find out the information they need to be able to apply. So welcome today. Food for All NB is a provincial network to support the food systems, food sovereignty, food security movements here in New Brunswick. We offer a number of different programs to support that. So one is the New Brunswick Food Programs Map. This is a crowdsourced map of different programs and initiatives that exist around New Brunswick to support food security. So if you don't have your program listed there yet, then please go onto our website and you can add your program. This is also a great way to find out what's happening in your region or to connect with other similar programs around the province. We also offer a resource directory. It's browsable, it's searchable, and if you have a resource that should go on there, then please send it to us. We try to have an emphasis on really high quality resources and resources that are made here in New Brunswick. And finally, we offer a program called the New Brunswick Community Food Mentors Program. This has a nice relationship with the Community Food Action Grant Program. So it's a nice program to mention today. There are now hundreds of trained community food mentors, CFMs, who exist around New Brunswick and who are applying their training and knowledge in their communities. These are mentors who are involved in local food systems, in food sustainability, and in interventions at the community level to be able to advance food security. If you want to find out more about Food for All NB, then you can find out more on our website, on social media, or just drop us an email at info@foodforallnb.ca. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Christine LeBlanc, Program Advisor with the Department of Health in the Office of the Chief Medical Officer of Health. She'll be guiding us through an overview of the Community Food Action Grant Program and all that it has to offer for the great actions that you might do. Christine, I will stop sharing my screen and we can send it over to you.
Can you see my screen now? Thanks for attending this, everyone. So the Community Food Action Grant Program, you'll notice is basically, it's the same grant program that was with social development previously with the wellness branch. It and we, the staff doing the program, were transferred to the Department of Health under the Office of the Chief Medical Officer of Health as of April 1st, 2020. Did my next slide advance? Just want to make sure that technical thing is working.
It hasn't yet, but if you click on that screen, then it should be able to advance.
Click on the screen. All right. Maybe, there we go.
Great.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So the Community Food Action Program is designed to help improve healthy eating in New Brunswick by creating a greater food security at the community level. The types of organizations that can apply for funding includes schools, colleges, universities, communities, municipalities, not-for-profit organizations, wellness networks, coalitions, food banks, however, individuals and private businesses are not eligible to apply. Also, I want to note that sometimes an organization applying for a grant may not have the resources to manage the funds up for the project. For example, if it's a large organization and you have a hard time getting checks written to pay small expenses, in this case, you can partner with another organization so that they can receive and manage the funds as part of their role in the initiative. Excuse me, if this applies to you, you'll need to provide the organization's name and contact information. And just important to note also the same thing, the individual receiving the funds to manage cannot be an individual and they must be located in New Brunswick. So the initiatives must meet the 3 goals of the Community Food Action Program. The 3 goals being increase access to healthy food, which means making nutritious foods and fresh produce more easily to obtain, more plentiful and more affordable. It might mean creating new way for people to get food or helping people buy food at a lower cost. The second goal would be increasing food knowledge and skills. The initiative must include some aspect of skill building or learning for the participants. Learnings can be on things such as healthy eating, growing food, budgeting, buying healthy foods, cooking healthy foods, more knowledge of local foods, food systems, or others. The third goal that the initiatives must meet would be strengthen the community's ability to create greater food security for all. And this refers to how your initiative will help your community to recognize their strengths, identify assets within the community, and how it will help them build a foundation for working together to continue to address food security within your own community. So typical actions that are funded through this program include things like Laura mentioned, community food mentor trainings, community gardens, community kitchens, food-related education programs. And this is the time to be creative and innovative, because at the present time, all initiatives funded must be able to follow public health COVID-19 requirements. Therefore, the way we've done things in the past with certain things like cooking classes or workshops may need to be modified to follow the COVID-19 guidelines. So funding. Eligible applicants can receive up to $5,000 in grant funding. And the eligible expenses can be things like program development, research, facilitators, materials and equipment and supply needed for the initiative, marketing and promotion of the initiative, or even childcare and transportation for participants to make it more easy for them to attend. And non-eligible expenses are things like day-to-day operational expenses of the organization, or capital expenses or long-term assets. So for example, sheds, buildings, computers, cars, those things are not eligible for funding. Another important part of the initiative, I mentioned at the very beginning, having another organization as a partner to hold the funding. So partnerships are important in this initiative. Having strategic partners in the initiative will increase the success rates and sustainability of the initiative. So engaging organizations, you can engage businesses at this point as a partner, and other partners who have a vested interest in working together that'll ensure diverse representation, and it'll make participation accessible and enjoyable for people. When you receive funding at the end of the initiative, within 30 days of finishing the initiative, we ask that you submit an activity report to let us know what went well, what you do differently in the future, and we may share your information to help others learn and be inspired and share best practices. And the activity reports also help us demonstrate the use of grant funding and the impact of the program to decision makers within government. So grant applications will be accepted throughout the year as long as we still have funds available. There are still several steps in the grant review process, so please allow at least 8 weeks prior to the start date of your initiative before you want to start it. And if your plans are for initiative that starts in several months from now, say November, you can send your application in way earlier, as soon as you have it ready. You can send it in, and the earlier you send it in, the earlier you will get notice of it being approved. So to get to the application documents, they're now on the Department of Health website. So at gnb.ca, you'd go to Department of Health. Within the Department of Health, you click on the Public Health tab, and in Public Health, you click on the Healthy People tab, and at the very bottom of the page, you'll notice the Community Food Action grants are there. We ask you submit your grants not to a particular staff person, but into the musat.wellness@gnb.ca email box. That way, if either staff person, myself or Jessica, are not available, someone will definitely be able to access the application, and it won't get stuck in an email box. And yeah, and so if you have any questions from now till, while you're wanting to apply, you can definitely send your questions to musat.wellness@gnb.ca, and we'll be happy to reply. Any questions now, I guess?
So fantastic. Thank you so much, Christine. So we'll take this as a moment to close the official presentation. This will be a video that hopefully will help to answer a lot of questions for anybody looking to apply over the long term. And they know that they can follow up with that email address with any questions. And when we post the video, we'll also share those direct links to the public health page about the Community Food Action Grant Program, and the direct links about the activity report and the application guide and whatnot. So with that, thank you so much, and we'll